Hello beautiful people of the internet, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I'm so excited that you joined me today. For today's video, we are going to be discussing 12 book recommendations that I got from 12 of my bookish friends. Before anybody gets their feelings hurt, I truly do think of each and every one of you that watch my videos as friends, but I really wanted to stick to 12 bookish friends and 12 friends that I have personally, or digitally, I guess, met because of this community. So these people have booktubes, these people have Instagrams that are book related, or I have just communicated with them through sprints or through this channel. Whatever the case may be, these are 12 of my bookish friends that I have met because of the booktube community. I asked 12 of them to come up with one recommendation for me to read in the year 2024. And let me tell you guys, I am so excited about the recommendations that they came up with. Hopefully I like a lot of these because I definitely trust these people. All the people that I talk about, I'm going to link down below, especially if they have a YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, let's go ahead and start with Keisha. Keisha is A Book Like You on Instagram and on YouTube, and she recommended me Just Another Love Song by Carrie Winfrey and A Dark and Stormy Murder by Julia Buckley. I recently read Fakin' Christmas by Carrie Winfrey and really enjoyed that writing, so I have a feeling that that is going to be a good one. And then A Dark and Stormy Murder I think is her favorite new cozy mystery of all time, so she had me sold right there. Next is my friend Beth over at Beth's Book Reviews on YouTube. I asked her to give me a recommendation, and she recommended The Souls of Lost Lake by Jamie Jo Wright. First of all, look at this cover. Why have I not heard of this book before? And why have I not read it? I think out of the entire list, this is the book that I have the highest hopes for, not only because mine and Beth's tastes are pretty similar, but also because this is a ghost story set at a secluded cabin. Does that not sound absolutely amazing? I'm so excited. Next is from my friend Heather at Books and Heather on Instagram and YouTube, and she recommended me Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I have heard incredible things about this book. I've even seen that some people put it in their best books of the entire year, and that really intrigues me. All I know about this book is I think the main theme of it is not belonging, or something or someone that doesn't feel like they belong. And I know it follows a lot of different perspectives of people who truly don't feel like they belong, including, I think, that there is this perspective of an octopus kept in an aquarium, obviously not feeling like he belongs. I don't know, I'm excited. Next is my friend Jessie over at Reading with Jess on Instagram and YouTube, and she recommended me Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. She said that this was her favorite romance of all time, and it was her best romance of 2022. I have been meaning to pick up an Abby Jimenez, but now is the perfect opportunity. Next is a recommendation from my friend Hope on the Coast on YouTube and Instagram, and she recommended me Bring Me Your Midnight by Rachel Griffin. I have never read by Rachel Griffin before, but I have a feeling that this is a YA story. Hope said it's atmospheric and witchy, but would be a great witchy book for summer or fall time since it has to do with the water. Ooh, I'm so excited. This is definitely out of my comfort zone just because of the cover alone, but I'm excited. This next book comes as a recommendation from my friend Sam at A Spark of Sam on YouTube, and she said that I need to read Wayward, which is another witchy book, I think, or at least a magical book. And this has been on my TBR for months, and I was so excited when she said that I should read it. Under cover of darkness, Kate flees London from a ramshackle Wayward cottage, inherited from a great aunt she barely remembers. With its tumbling ivy and overgrown garden, the cottage is worlds away from the abusive partner who tormented Kate, but she begins to suspect that her great aunt had a secret, one that lurks in the bones of the cottage, hidden ever since the witch hunts of the 17th century. This next one, I also absolutely screamed when she said I could read it. So the friend I asked for this one was Karina, and she has a Instagram called Books to Read, Cards to Make, and it's kind of like a bookish/craft Instagram. She recommended Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I am so excited to dive into this one, guys. Lovely War by Julie Berry is one of my favorite books of all time, and honestly, just from hearing the synopsis of this one, it makes me think of that one. I think this is like an historical fiction, fantasy sort of thing with some magical elements in it. There's some romance in it. I don't know, it just sounds like the perfect good time. Alright, so this next recommendation comes from my friend Elise over at Virgo Rising Reads, and she recommended Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. I have never read a Christina Lauren, but I have heard nothing but good things about them. Elise said, it's a fun treasure adventure and a second chance romance, not the usual light and fluffy romance. Ooh, I'm excited. Growing up, the daughter of notorious treasure hunter and absentee father, Duke Wilder, left Lily without much patience for the profession, or much money in the bank. But Lily is nothing if not resourceful and now uses Duke's coveted hand-drawn maps to guide tourists on fake treasure hunts through the Red Rock Canyons of Utah. Oh, that sounds so fun. Next is a recommendation from my friend Dani over at Danielle's Reading Corner on YouTube, and she recommended Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This is absolutely perfect because Jessie recommended me Part of Your World, and Yours Truly is the sequel to Part of Your World. So that's perfect. I can just do like a little Abby Jimenez taste test, so we'll see how that goes. This next recommendation comes from my friend Courtney over on Instagram. I don't believe Courtney has a YouTube, but I will leave her information on her Instagram down below. But she recommended The People We Keep by Rachel Larkin. I've always seen this cover around, and I've always been a little interested but never picked it up. April Sawicki is living in a motorless motorhome that her father won in a poker game. Failing out of school, picking up shifts at Margot's Diner, she's left fending for herself in a town where she's never felt quite at home. When she borrows her neighbor's car to perform in an open mic night, she realizes her life can be much bigger than where she came from. It does sound a little bit hard-hitting because it goes to say that her and her dad fight and she ends up leaving. And so I think that this is going to be a more serious book, but I'm excited for the ride. This next recommendation comes from my friend Keeley Joe, and Keeley has a YouTube called Vampire Keeley. She recommended The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, which is a book that I have been so incredibly curious about, and I've heard really good things about it. All I know about it is I think one of the main characters is a ghostwriter, and she falls in love with an actual ghost? Question mark? I've just heard really good things about it, and I'm excited to finally dive into this one. And lastly, number 12 is from my friend Renee, from Renee in the Middle on Instagram and on YouTube. So when I asked her for a recommendation, she said, how do you feel about middle grade? And you know, I'm either way on a middle grade. I've read really bad middle grade and I've read really good middle grade, so I don't really mind reading middle grade. And she recommended Fighting Words by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. Wow, that is a mouthful. And this is another one that has been on my TBR for a couple of months, but I just haven't gotten around to picking it up. She asked me if there was anything that bothered me in books, and I said, no, not really. I'm just not a huge fan of super sad books. And she said, this is a sad book, but not bawl and not recover in the end sad. So I thought that was pretty safe. And that is it, my friends. First and foremost, I want to thank those 12 friends that gave me recommendations for 2024. You guys really did knock it out of the park, and I am super excited to try each and every one of these. If you have a recommendation for me for 2024, please leave it down below, and I would be happy to check it out. If you made it this far into the video, please don't forget to hit the like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around, and I will see you on my next video. Bye, friends.